Hello all, Spectra 13 here. I just recently finished editing one of my father's gaming videos to put up on his YouTube channel, and we needed a thumbnail for it. So I took a screenshot from the video and I brought it into Xara to make the thumbnail. And I just kind of wanted to go over the process of what he and I think makes the image look better-ish, I guess. So usually you start from left to right. We go right to left. So we start with the sharpness and we bring that all the way up. I know it looks a little funky, but there's a process here. And then we just kind of mess with everything, even if it's just like a little bit, because every little bit makes it look different. So for temperature, we kind of, for this one, it's obviously different for every image, but we bring it to there. And then for saturation, right there, roughly. Actually, we'll bring this up a little bit more, not too much. There we go. And then saturation comes down a fair bit, like right there. I'm still not, neither of us are still entirely sure what the X process effect actually is. We understand what it does, how it makes the image look, but just don't really understand what purpose it has. I mean, any tips on this effect are greatly appreciated. This one, we're just gonna bring up a little bit, like right there. I do notice that it helps a lot of the blues pop out a little bit more, so maybe that's what it's meant for, or the greens. But I figure that's what saturation's for. I don't know, maybe I'm mistaken. If I'm wrong, please let me know. And then highlight brightness, typically we leave it at 100, sometimes we change it, but in this scenario, there's really nothing that changes. You can really, the only place you really see it is in the, I'm pointing at it like you can see it, but in the number light where you see the 7880, that's really the only thing that's changing. So we'll leave that at 100 because it doesn't make a difference either way. Shadow brightness, we'll bring that up just a little bit right there, just to kind of brighten up the background a little bit. And then contrast, bring up just a smidge to 6. And then overall brightness, about right. Just a little bit, like right there. Now I know these numbers all seem very exact, like I was looking for these numbers. We did do this, mess around with this a little bit previously, so we kind of have an idea of, had an idea of what looked good, but this is the finished product for the most part. I still have to put the text and logos on it, but that'll be off camera, so to speak. So I've put the text on here. And as you can see, it's Baltimore Q2. It's a timetable scenario from a game, obviously. The scenario name is Q249 Baltimore to Connellsville. And I learned this, kind of just briefly got it down for the most part, but I learned this technique from my dad. He did help me kind of figure it out. So I'm just going to use a line tool, and we had a little bit of trouble with this, but I'm gonna try it again. So there we have it. Should be ready to type on there. So it's Baltimore to Connellsville. Okay. Now that I have that, the way I did it before was I just gave it a little bit of a drop shadow. So zoom in, give it a drop shadow, transparency, make it white. That's funny, you think of drop shadow, you think dark, like black or something. Oh, not in this case. Okay. And then what I did was I brought it up here, turned it around, and then what you can do, well, those in the Xara forums already know what I'm doing, but come to the shape tool, and now you can shape this however you so please. I'm just gonna twist and turn it a little bit. Back to the shape tool. Just get it just right in here. There we go. And then what we'll do is take away the line. And then for the text, I'm gonna give that, I'll make it a little bit thicker. 3 pixels. That'll do. And there you have it. So you have this that kind of curves with the track more, as opposed to this here, which was the first one that I did, that just kind of sits awkwardly, and you have this kind of gap in between the letters here and the track down here. And with this way of doing it, you can see, if you line it back up, if I line it up just right, you can see that there's less of a gap now. There is still a little bit of a gap, so I'm actually gonna go back and bring that line back. And I'm just gonna adjust it a wee bit more. Move this up just a little bit. I'll move it up to like right here. So that means I'm gonna have to redo the curve and everything, but that's fine. Go back to the shape tool and bring this like so. I'm actually gonna put this back kind of like that. Want it to be a little bit more of a deep curve. So now it's almost kind of sitting like a circle. So I'm gonna tilt it like this. That's okay, because that's actually kind of what I want. Then back to the shape tool. And just kind of drag this around. And what you can do is kind of set some handles right here. So then once you have your handles, you have more control in adjusting this. But you also have to be really careful, because the handles can make everything go funky really quick. So see, that handle there was a bad idea, so maybe put the handle up here. Yeah. That's what we wanted. You can adjust this more like that. Kind of adjust that more over here. And it's just a lot of adjusting to get it right in the way you want it. So actually, I'm gonna make this a smidge smaller because it'll make it easier to sit on the track better. And there you have it. And then I have this down here that I'm gonna just drag up. And this is gonna go right on the end here. So we're gonna, oops, that's not what I meant to do. Tilt this. You'll notice that my drop shadow on this one is actually different, and that's mainly because of where it's sitting. So if I did white here, which I think no, I didn't. I don't have the white one here, but I did try it with white, and it just kind of got lost in all the like light colored, I can't think of the word for it. I know it, I just can't think of the word for it. The rocks and everything by the tracks. So yeah, just a different way to do all of this to have the text sitting better. text sitting better than getting lost in here or just kind of sitting in a boring way somewhere on the screen. So from here, I'm going to select it and I'm going to get rid of the line width, make it none so you don't see that line at all, but it is still there because clearly your letters are still sitting in that position. And to bring the line back to your text, you're going to go back to the text tool over here on the left, highlight your text, and I'm going to set this to, oh, I can't go to 3. Okay, let's see what 4 looks like. It's a bit thick, so you know what? We're just going to type in 3. There we go. And there you have it. So that is what I've learned recently. I mean, very recently. I mean, like within the past like 20 minutes of trying to get this to look good. And then just to compare, that's what it looked like before and after. And it really is kind of the wildest thing to see it like this after seeing it all edited, because, you know, you see it fully saturated, you see the colors look really good and everything, and then to see it kind of drab and almost washed out, because when you're playing the game or when you see the video, it doesn't look half bad. It actually looks fairly decent. But then to see this after seeing it saturated it's kind of funny in an ironic way. But this is basically just to update and show my progression with Xara to see if I'm getting better or if I'm kind of plateauing. But I'd like to think that I am getting a little bit better with Xara. But of course, any tips, information to do better, get better, and just to change things up are always greatly appreciated. But yeah, that's it for now. See you later.